Great day, second grade families. It's Mr. Sargent here with your weekly newsletter video for the week of December 4th through the 9th. Now, we have a lot of school and classroom news, so let's go ahead and get started. On December 9th, which is Friday, we are going to be sending home the interim/progress reports. These will have every student's current grades in all subjects, as well as any missed work or things that they need to work on. So make sure that we're looking out for those progress reports/interim reports on Friday of this week. Now, also on December, we have our winter festival here at the school from 6 to 8 o'clock. Now, the entry fee is $5, but that's also with a toy donation if you can. So ladies and gentlemen, come on out and witness an incredible time that we're going to have here, sponsored by the GPA Yearbook and Guilford Preparatory Academy. It should be a pretty fun time. Now, also in news, the week of December 12th through the 16th, which is our last week before winter break, there will be no homework. Now, not this week, but next week. So keep that in mind as we go through. This is the week to get our work in and prepare before break. Also, with only being a few more days left before break, we want to be here and enjoy each and every day. So let's make an effort to be here each and every day. Attendance is certainly important. And as we proceed through the year, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest way and the best way that we're going to become better math students, the better ELA students, better readers, better scientists, better social studies, better at gym, better at lunch. Well, maybe not better at lunch, but better is actually being here. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's put a huge focus on our attendance, being here on time, being picked up on time, and most of all, just being here. One of my favorite things about second grade is getting to see each and every scholar here, learning, working together, and doing their best. We can't do that if we're not here. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's put a huge focus on our attendance as we proceed through the rest of the year. Now, that's it for school news. Let's get into, drum roll please, there it is, class news. Now, I want to give a huge shout out to my homeroom. We once again have won class of the month for GPA through K through 2. We had a great time last Friday celebrating, and they should be celebrated. You should be celebrated with the amount of work and effort that you put in the month of November. Ladies and gentlemen, super, super proud and impressed of each and every one of you. And for everybody else, I am super proud of you as well. You all have done such an incredible, incredible job. So let's continue earning those gold paws so that next month you can win class of the month. Also, as a huge shout out, our students of the month were Devin and Triton. Couldn't pick anyone better. You guys are both incredible and incredible leaders, and we're super, super proud of each and every one of you. All right, so having said that, let's talk about what we're going to be learning this week in ELA, math, and social studies. So first, we're going to talk a little bit about ELA. As you know, we have a new spelling list. This is going to be week 12 of the spelling list, and these are ew words. Now, they're not gross words or anything like that. They have the EW sound in them. All right? Good. Say it with me. EW, ew, ew. Very good. You almost have to contort your face a little bit. So let's take a look at these words. Let's put them up right now. All right, there they are. Number one, we got well, large, cook, scent, even. Okay. Now we get into our pattern words with the ew sound. We have grew, slew, drew, chew, few, brew. Now, if you hear those words, they do have the EW spelling and the U sound. Next, we have ever, until, violet, color, and shape. As always, you will get your spelling packet on Monday, and it will be turned in on Friday. where you will also have a test on Friday concerning these spelling words. Now, also in ELA, one of the focus in our stories this week are going to be looking at a story through a different viewpoint or a different perspective. Take, for instance, the story of the Three Little Pigs. Now, we've always heard the story, three little pigs built their houses. One made it out of straw, one made it out of wood, one made it out of stone. And then the big bad wolf came down and blew down some houses and couldn't blow down the other ones. Well, we always hear that story from the perspective of the pig. Now, a different perspective would be hearing that story from the wolf. Now, can you imagine how different the story would be if the wolf was telling the story? Would be an entirely different story. So what you're going to be focusing on this week is how to look at a story from a different viewpoint, from a different character's viewpoint, and how the story changes based on that character. I'm super excited to hear about the stories that you're going to get to read. Now, also in Foundations, you're going to be studying what we call closed syllables. Let's put that right up here. All right, so you're going to be focused on closed syllable words. All right. Now, if you look behind me, you will see two words. We have met and beg. Both those words only have one syllable. And if you notice, the vowel in the center, both E, are surrounded by consonants. So if the syllable ends in a consonant, well, first of all, it's going to be a short sound, isn't it? Take, for instance, cat. One syllable word, the vowel's in the middle, and it ends in a consonant, and our consonant there is the letter T. Well, that A has a short A sound. So it's a cat. So the word cat would be a closed syllable word. All right, we have up here, we have met and beg. Those are both closed syllable words because, well, like we said before, the vowels are surrounded by consonants and it produces a short E sound. All right, now to compare the two, over here we have an open syllable word. Over here we have a closed syllable examples. And if you notice in the open, we have the long vowel sounds. All right, a long vowel sound is when you hear the letter when you say the word. Okay, a short sound would be when you hear just the sound, the o, I, oo. All right, you don't hear the letter U, you don't hear the letter O, you don't hear the letter A or I or E. Ladies and gentlemen, what you hear is the sound. All right, now I will tell you there are some exceptions to this. Take, for instance, what we have here. Here are a series of sounds, syllables. We got the ild, eind, old. No, I'm not old. Well, kind of, but here it is. You can see it. It says old, olt, and ost. Now for ild, we have child. Now in this case, the vowel is surrounded by consonants, but we have the long vowel sound. So this is not a closed syllable word. And if it is, this is one of the exceptions in which we actually hear that long vowel sound. You look at the other words, bind, cold, bolt, and host. All of those have long vowel sounds. So those are the exceptions to our rule. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to practice next week with closed syllable words. I cannot wait to see the great things that you will do. Now in math. All right, so in math this week, you're going to have some fun, ladies and gentlemen. This is when we're going to be focusing on adding tens and adding ones, subtracting tens and subtracting ones. Well, that may sound confusing right now, but if you take a look at this is an example of something that you may be doing next week. Now, if you look at this table right here, it's broken down and organized in a way that should help us. Now, the biggest thing that we have to figure out here is when to add and when to subtract. Well, it comes down to your reading skills. Okay, if you look at this chart, you see the numbers 38, 62, 50, 18, 44, and 79. That is our starting number. But if you look at the top of the chart, it says 10 more, and then 10 less. One more, and then one less. What is the difference between more and less? What is that telling us to do? Well, if you said that more is adding and less is subtracting, you are correct. So take, for instance, 38. 38, if we go through this chart, 38, 10 more than 38. So we have to add 38 plus 10. You're right, it's 48. Very good, we just add what's in the tens place. If we take 10 less, that means we're subtracting 10. So 38 minus 10, that's a tough one. I think I heard someone say it. 28. Very good. So we put 28 in that chart. Now, if we keep going, what's one more? Well, we only look at the ones place here. So 38 plus 1 is 39. And then one less would be 38 minus 1, because it said less, and that would be 37. So ladies and gentlemen, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to post this up on the board. All right? I'm going to get off the screen for a moment. And if you want to pause the video and work through this chart on your own, by all means, it's great practice. And as we know, practice makes better. And the more you practice with this math, the better you're going to be. All right, hopefully some of you stayed back and practiced those math problems a little bit more. Hopefully it helped. Now let's talk about social studies. Now, over the past couple of weeks, we have been talking about different types of government. You could see them here. We are experts at different types of government. Now, last week we focused on democracy, where we learned about how our country's government runs. We know about the three branches. There they go. We got the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. We learned about our federal government last week. We learned about the importance of the Constitution. Well, this week, we're going to kind of keep it close to home, where we're going to start learning about local governments. We're going to be learning about the local government structure, as you can see right here, and how we have things like governors for our state. We have mayors for our city. We're going to be learning about the different jobs and different roles that make democracy work in our own backyard. We're going to be taking a look at North Carolina and how the governor is chosen, how they make decisions, who they look to as their advisors, or if the governor has their own cabinet. We're going to be looking at the mayor and what decisions the mayor can make. And then we're going to compare the mayor versus the governor and see how they help each other and how they have different roles. So ladies and gentlemen, I am super excited about what we're going to be learning about next week and how to make connections with things that we have already talked about. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this week. Thank you for spending this amount of time with me. Hopefully you got some help in understanding about the vowel sounds, the closed syllables. Hopefully you understand how to add and subtract more or less in math, and you're excited to learn about local government. I know I am. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hopefully this video has helped you, and I cannot wait to see each and every one of you this week.